Alright guys, in this video I'm gonna go over Bitcoin, I'll go over SUI and a few of the other coins like AERO and see what they are thinking, where things can go. So let's get right into it. So let's look at Bitcoin really quick. Now this is the area I'm looking at. I think Bitcoin is gonna come over here, most likely get rejected and then decide to come down. Could it come all the way down here? We don't know, but we can prepare as if it's going to come this way. Now this zone is around 100k and top of this resistance is 102. So we need to break 99.6 and then 102, 189. Those are the two zones that I'm gonna keep my eye on. It's still under a sell signal. It still thinks we can go to 91k. So let's get out of here and let's look at the oscillator and see what the oscillator is showing us. So on the 1-day chart, the oscillator does have a turning point. The money flow is sort of going up and we can still ascend this way. But down here, we didn't get a reversal signal. Now, based on the 1 day, based on this signals I showed you, again, we should get to 100,800 if things work out. Now let's look at the 8-hour chart. If you look at the 8-hour chart, we're already running into some resistance up here. Money flow hasn't started to go down yet, but we need it to go down if we want to pull back. And you can see the RSI is sort of turning. Usually when it turns this way, eventually it could get a sell signal, which we haven't officially got yet. So let's look at the 4 hours. Now 4 hours, we have a bearish divergence here. We have a major reversal. We have a major turning point, but we need the money flow to turn, which it hasn't turned yet. But it is running into some resistance down below for it to continue downwards. Now if this gets a full confirmation, which we're waiting for this area here, which is money flow, then that should take the price of Bitcoin back down to right here, which is at 96,200. And remember guys, if you look at it, no matter how it moves, it always comes back to the 21-day moving average. Look, it comes back. It comes back here. So eventually it's gonna come back. Maybe the moving average meets us up a little bit depending on how it plays out. So 96.8, 96.2 is looking very likely on the 4 hour. Now let's look at the 3 hour. 3 hour also shows right here the money flow is breaking. We have a reversal, we have a turning point, we have a bearish divergence. And let me look at the 2 hour really quick. So 2 hours, you can see the money flow is sort of turning down, but we do have a turning point, we have a reversal, and we have a bearish divergence. So based on the 2 and 3 hour, 3 hour says, hey, we should come back to 96.4. 2 hour says we should come back to 96.6. Now I already looked at it. The 1 hour says we should be able to go up a little bit more, which if you look at it, 98, 98.2, and then if we want to the premium zone, which is 99.6. So I think we could get a pump to 99.6, but there's a good chance that we retest 96.2. Now let's get at SUI. I was talking about this earlier, just in general in our Discord. So based on the 1-day chart, 1-day chart thinks SUI can go to $5.44, and if it really wants to, it can come all the way up to $5.92. Now this premium zone was between $4.97 and $5.17, but because of the pump, this premium zone has shifted up. So if you look at the peak of the premium zone, which is right here, and the premium zone is in this area, it thinks SUI can finish out this pump at 544, but it may or may not get there, but it's one of the target. Now if you look in the 2-day chart, it already reached its goal. 3-day reached its goal, but if you go to the weekly, it thinks SUI can go to 556. So I'll leave SUI there. I think SUI has reached majority of its potential for this particular pump, but it does have the potential to go to 555. Now, let's go back to the 1 day and let's look at AERO. So AERO is still under a sell signal, and it still thinks AERO has a potential to go to 105. Will it? It depends on what Bitcoin decides to do. Now AERO on the 8-hour chart is also under sell signal. AERO under 4-hour does have a buy signal, but it already hit target 1. Target 2 could be 170. Let's look at ONDO. ONDO similar. Look, ONDO hit its target of 161 based on the 4-hour chart. 8-hour chart still says ONDO could go to 164. The 1-day chart for ONDO is still under a sell signal, thinking ONDO can still go to 120 if Bitcoin allows it. So that's just a little bit on Bitcoin, ONDO, SUI. I'm not going to get too much into other coins unless you guys request it, but Bitcoin has to make a decision, and Bitcoin has to decide where to go. So if I had to say something, I could say that, hey, Bitcoin has the potential to go to 100, even 102K, get rejected there, and then come back down to 96.2. But a pump can change the time frame even in longer time frame. But if I had to put my money right now, I say at some point Bitcoin does reverse and finishes out the dip that it was on, because that's what it always have done. We always think it's gonna do this, that, and the other, and it's gonna pump, and it's gonna go to the moon, and it's gonna go past the moon, and it's gonna go to another solar system. But with time, the crypto market shows us that we always get an opportunity. So we always have to play to get a pullback. But I'm not waiting for the pullback to buy. Whenever there's any kind of pullback, I buy a little. I sit and watch the profit. Today I took 25% on my SUI and 25% on my XRP. So whenever there's a pump, take 25% profit if you're in doubt. Stop saying that you're losing multiplier, this and that. The market takes your profit away. Anyways, guys, hopefully this is helpful. Till next time, peace.